Good morning and welcome to Eating Like Your Gran did, where I eat based on the 1930s typical diet. We start the day off pretty meager with coffee with evaporated milk that's totally not upside down, toast that you made from bread from scratch with a little bit of butter, and if you were lucky, some fruit like the grapefruit I have next to me. For the bread that I use for toast, I poured 3 cups of flour into a large bowl and dug out a little baby well that I'm trying to do right here. Added 2 teaspoons of yeast and half cup of water and 2.5 tablespoons of olive oil, and started mixing with my hands. To break up the yeast and combine everything together. Then I start to gradually add in half a tablespoon of salt with the remaining 1 cup of water, and I knead for about 15 minutes. It should have been 20, but I am not as tough as our Gran was, so I struggled a little bit with that. After the 15 minutes of kneading, I put a damp dishcloth over top of the bowl and set it next to my preheated oven of 350 and let it rise for about 1.5 hours. Next, I very awkwardly, with a lot of struggle, poured my dough into a loaf pan that was greased and put a damp towel on top of that and let it rise for about 15 minutes. Here I'm trying to cut slits in top of the dough, but it was still very damp and sticky, so I thought I kind of just failed and decided to throw it in the oven anyway. It turned out, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. Next up we have Italian ice, which is very deliciously disgusting sugar water. You have 2 cups of water to a half cup of sugar and let it boil and dissolve for about 5 minutes, and then you remove it from the heat, putting it in the freezer and stirring it every 4 to 5 hours, which I totally didn't forget to film. And when it looks like the texture of ice, this is why it's called Italian ice, you can add whatever flavoring. I added lemon, add way more lemon than I added here, and then I tried to make it look all nice and professional like a real YouTuber, and put it into a decent bowl and added mint for garnish. It was pretty good, but very, very sweet. For the finale, I added about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil to a pan with about 2 big potatoes, and I pan fried them until they were golden brown, about 20 minutes. Then I cracked 4 eggs into the pan and cooked them until they were fully done and fully scrambled, and then added salt and pepper. Make sure you stir this recipe consistently because it sticks to the pan quite a bit, unless you have nice new pans, unlike me, in which you are very lucky. Then I brown my toast in a pan for a nice stable base for my egg mixture, and this is very good. It's a very hearty, filling sandwich, just like those who used to eat in the Great Depression, and I highly recommend. Thanks for watching, and please do all the things real YouTubers tell you to do, and thanks to Great Depression Cooking for inspiring me.